Hi guys, is anybody home? I know I promised you guys that I'm going to be here by 9 p.m. but I had a lot of things to do, which include putting up my posts, and it was taking some time. So that's why I could not be here by 9 p.m. But I'm happy that I'm here. So who is here? Join in, let's start our conversation. Like you guys know, I do not have all the time, and I do not usually come here to like spend more than the allocated time that I've given to myself. So I'm only going to be having conversations with those that are available here, okay? So welcome guys. I hope it's not too late for you guys. Thank you for joining. Tap on your screen. So, I think I forgot to put in what I want to discuss for today, which is basically about Nigerian men in diaspora. That's why I said if you're a Nigerian man in diaspora, or if you're a Nigerian man, please join this life. There is a lot for you to learn. There's a lot for you to gain from it. Whether you are planning to japa or you are just going to be in Nigeria, you'll be surprised with the amount of things you might get to understand. And like I said yesterday, it would be great if you have seen my video, like the video I posted this evening before we start this conversation. If you have not seen it, it's good. Thank you for joining. Fisayo, Fireboy, Team, Ebuka, thank you for joining. Thank you guys. If you're in diaspora and you have friends in diaspora, it's best to share this live with them so that they can join. And yeah, if you have the time, you could just quickly look at my video that I posted today. It's on all social media platform, like everyone that is here, okay? You would see them everywhere. It's listed everywhere. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you. So like I said yesterday, like I always say, when you see me here, we go straight to the point and we don't beat around the bush because we have allocated time to be here. Okay, so I'm just talking about what I've noticed with Nigerian men in diaspora. And as you guys know, this is another hi Victoria, how are you doing? So this is another what do they call it now, season where Nigerian men in diaspora, African men, come back home to get married, to decide who they want. Hello, Titan, Files, Asin, what am I saying? That's Ansari. Oh, Ansari, if you're a Nigerian man in diaspora and you're joining, I suggest you stay here. If you're an African man in diaspora, if you're even in your home country, you have not traveled yet, if you have plans of traveling, if you have plans of getting married, thank you for the likes. So it's good that you are here, if you ask me. So with most of the things that I've noticed, like on my DM, I see a lot of people sending me. It's not as if it's not just that I read messages of some people. I create time to, if you guys might know or might not know that I'm a relationship coach. So I do have conversation with people that want to talk to me about their relationship. And yeah, so if you want to have a private conversation with me, that apart from the teachings on live on my social media, you can do that, but that comes with a cost. However, one of the things that I've noticed with the various messages that I've gotten, with the things that I've seen a lot of people telling me, hey, hello. So with a lot of things that I've seen people telling me, I've come to realize that the basic mistake that people in diaspora make is that they come into the country with their mind set on some certain things. And it seems as if the mistakes that these men in diaspora, I'm not going to say Nigeria because I know I have followers from all over the world, okay? So I'm going to just stick it with, thank you so much. I'm talk bad. So they make some mistakes which have tried to list that. Okay, one of the mistakes that men in diaspora make is that they marry women that do not love them, and it's also vice versa, that they also marry women that they do not love. They have expectation, because most of the time you see these men that they have gone to this country, most of you guys, you have traveled, you are just hustling, trying to make your life better where you are, which is beautiful. You are trying to make your life better. You have seen what works in this country. You have seen what you are expecting. Oh, maybe you traveled with a certain degree, or you went there and you furthered your education, you come back, and then you are like, this is what I want. I'm going to relate this marrying people that you do not love to profession. You will see people marrying, they will say, oh, I want to marry a doctor, they want to marry a nurse. All over the world, we know that these professions sell in the Western countries, right? They sell, and then you come back and you're like, I want to marry a nurse. See, somebody can be a nurse, somebody can be a doctor, somebody can be a pharmacist, somebody can be an engineer. They could even have first class degree in those professions, but they do not have good character. So if you are falling in love with somebody based on what they have studied, I've seen people tell me, oh, I want to marry a doctor. That's bullshit. I'm on live. Am I free to swear? Okay, I don't know. That's crap, okay? That's you doing a huge disservice to yourself, because how will you just say because this person is a doctor or a nurse, you base your, like, you could immediately see them, they feel as if they love these people. You don't love that person, neither does the person love you. You just assume that, oh, because this person have a good profession, they should make good wife. Because this person is in this career, they could make good husband. It's not true. Okay, I make friends of different kinds and different forms, and throughout the course of this life, I'm going to be citing practical examples with life stories that people have shared with me, things that I've seen people do. Okay, I have friends that are nurses. I've met some that have fantastic careers, fantastic character, and I've also seen those with not so great of a character. I even have one that is actually a bit close to me, that if you ask me as a man and you say, oh, I like this your particular friend, I'm going to tell you, say, anything where you see for there, now you sabi. I'm not going to vouch for her, because I have seen the way she reacts to things, I've seen the way she acts with things, and I can only imagine how she would be like in love. So because you have lived in this country and feel like this profession sell, does not mean that everybody with this said certificate is a good person. And when those people end up, you travel with that person, you marry that person, and you travel with that person, and the person starts acting out, and you're like, oh, this person have disappointed you. No, you disappointed yourself. You disappointed yourself. You put yourself in, you gave yourself an expectation, all right? You gave yourself an expectation, and you're expecting that person to play out what is in your head. No, you didn't create anybody. Because you did not create nor give anybody life, you cannot predict what they would be, right? And I'm going to be citing these things and be giving you practical solutions, maybe a little bit of things that you might do that could work for you. If you want further advice or further conversation on this, you might have to come for a private consultation, which has a fee attached to it. However, if you ask me, when you meet somebody that is in so and so profession, instead of you to just jump in and say, oh, I want to marry this person, it would be better and great for you if you would go ahead and study that person. You don't say, this December I must marry. That's bullshit. It makes no sense. Like when you're like, oh, this December I must marry. When you say this December you must marry who? Did you keep anybody somewhere? You didn't keep anybody anywhere. Okay, unless you are that kind of person that can analyze critically when somebody is talking to you. Talking to somebody over the phone can never be enough. For me, it's enough. But for some people, if you don't know how to pick out how people talk, how people react, how somebody acts when they are talking to you, you might find it hard for you to know when somebody is telling you the truth over the phone. So if you have met this said person over the phone and you're like, once I come in this December, I'm going to marry that person, Please don't do that. As you know, I'm a strong male advocate, and it's becoming a thing of pity and shame to constantly see men crying out about things like this. It's the same experience across all board. I can give you 20 different stories about this same thing, and you're going to see that the underlying situation or the experience of each and every man seems to be the same. You know, you are marrying this person because you feel like you love this person. Both of you do not genuinely love yourself. A lot of people come back, una no love una self, you just marry that person. One, you think that because you marry that person they should love you. They wouldn't. And the aspect that I'm also talking about, career, should be knocked off. You do not marry somebody and say because of this person's career the person should play out nice. They can be extremely good in their careers, but they are not good people. Simple. And like I said earlier, um when you marry a doctor, for example, you know that doctor was somebody's daughter, raised in a home for minimum of 18 years before they went to medical school, right? Either 18 to 20 years they were living with somebody. Foundation was built, character, structure, attitudes, attributes, everything were given to that person at home before they went into medical school. They might come out with flying colors without having a character because their background, the weird how they were raised, did not give them that structure, did not give them that upbringing for them to be a good wife or to be a good person generally. You get genetics and other things, environment, society, everything comes into play. But the main thing is that doctor you are insisting to marry, that nurse, that engineer, the pharmacist, the med lab scientist, all these great costs you are looking at and say this person, if I carry and go abroad, is going to be profitable. You yourself, you are doing yourself a disservice. And on your own, you know that you are not telling yourself the truth. Because for you, deep down your hand is a transaction, right? You are making a transaction with the person. You are making a transaction, and that transaction is that you are buying that person too. You are not telling yourself the truth. Because if you say, oh, I want to marry a doctor, which means anything that passed that is a doctor, you are interested, right? Which also means that you are lying to yourself. That if you say you love that person, you don't love anybody. You don't love that person. You love the profession. And when the character which supersedes and is superior to the profession start to play out, you go shock. You can go to that person's office. The person is winning the employee of the month every month. But at home, the person is rubbish. Doesn't come with nothing. They don't give you what they want. But because you are married to a doctor that like you prayed for, you are married to that nurse, a pharmacist, or whatever it is that you are looking for, a fashion designer that you feel like, oh, these people are going to roll in money for you abroad. When that person leaves you, your eye go clear. And your eye should not really clear because you asked for it. Remember that yesterday when I was talking, I said we are all product of the choice we make. You made that choice that I'm going to be blind to everything this person does as long as the person is coming with this career, with this profession. It's more important to me that this person is book smart than home smart. You made that choice. Are there people, I remember something that my father told me. My father would always say that no matter how good of a person you have met, there are still people that are far better out there. So which means that you can still meet nurses, doctors, engineers that are great human beings. But because you have just channeled your mind, you have put your mind on profession, you don't care to check other things, right? So another mistake that I see that people make, I think this one is more common in Nigeria and in Africa. I don't know whether it's the whole of Africa. I don't know which African country is more religious than Nigeria. Another mistake that I've seen that people make a lot is marrying somebody because you met that person in the church. You see, this Christmas, a lot of people they will come back. Their mama go tell them say they find somebody for church for them. They meet this person. I see him for church. Him be better person. In the sweep church. Before you wake up in the morning, you don't mop the whole cathedral finish. Your mother will come with all these stories, don't listen. Don't stay there, because let me tell you something that a lot of us take for granted is that because you met somebody in the church does not mean that that person is a good person. Church is a rehabilitation center, believe it or not. Even mad people sef full church. Even some of your pastors sef wey come church na cure dey cure dem small small small. They come give dem pastorship. So it's not as if in the church everybody's character is great. It's not great. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's not great. You don't come to the church and you are like, oh, everybody in this church is good. So if you marry a girl, if you're in diaspora or you're in Nigeria and you're saying, because this girl is a church girl, I go marry her, that is a wrong. That is one of the worst things you can do to yourself. Okay? That is one great mistake that men in diaspora make. You marry somebody because you met them in the church. This Christmas, as I'm talking to you, a lot of people are going to still do that thing. And I'm going to give you a story to back this thing up. I remember what my friend that was telling me of her brother-in-law. Okay, the brother-in-law came home and was like, he wants to get married. So he went to their church. Of course, I don't want to mention denomination though. So he went to the church and met this girl in the clean church. They sweep everywhere nice, fine, nice church girl. You know, he now proposed to the girl, and he married the girl, and he left. When they got to the country where they are based, he put this girl in nursing school, and she finished school. At a point, they were now giving birth and, childbirth and other things. She had to stay at home, right? So she stayed at home taking care of the kids. So in this country, termination of pregnancy is legal. Okay? And when they do this termination of pregnancy, you will get a mail from the hospital, like standard. So one of this mail came into the mailbox, and the man was the one that was holding the system or the laptop or whatever when the mail came in. Only for him to open it, and it was the hospital telling the woman, like, kind of like documentation or something about how successful the termination of the pregnancy was. And the man was in shock, because this wife of his has not allowed him to touch her in the past 5 months, 5 to 6 months. He never touched his wife. Only for the wife for him to get a mail from the hospital saying that termination of pregnancy was successful. You can imagine his shock. So the man was in shock. He was like, what is happening? He went to ask the woman, like, what happened? What is this that I'm getting? And women now, she started ranting. Was like, anything you want to do, and you do. Anything you want to do, when you do. Now this one. It was like, really? The woman started pushing for them to break up. Just like that. They took him to court. Out of that time, they have 3 kids. They took him to court, did everything, and just like that, in fact, at a point, the man was even saying that he wants his family back, that he has forgiven the woman, then the marriage go on, blah, blah, blah. Just like that, everything ended. The woman went meet for church. Now, it is not just that the marriage that ended was the painful part. The painful part was that this man later when they were going through the court cases and whatever, his friends came to him to apologize for sleeping with his wife. I did not say his enemies. His friends came to apologize to him for sleeping with his wife. You can imagine how disgusting and painful that must be for this man. But this is somebody he met at the church. This is a church girl. This is a holier than thou person. So, but again, this man now said that one of the things that he could remember was when he went to marry this said lady, okay, in their house, in the house of the lady, he noticed that the woman, that's the mother-in-law, was talking to the husband anyhow. He talks to the husband anyhow, like he talks to the husband as if the man is nothing, like she just shout on that. The man was there as if the man is a vegetable, just down there they look. Can you imagine that? So he now said that had he been a no when he noticed that thing, saying for don run. See, let me tell you something for free. The family is the first place we all learn to be a good wife and a good husband. The family is the first point of contact. That is a structure ordained, arranged by God. Even if you don't believe in God, you should know that family is the place you learn how to manage relationship. That is the first place you learn how your brothers will look for your trouble, your sisters will pick on you. That is where the first set of bullying happens. Let's be honest. That is the first place the people pick on you. That's where you learn to have a relationship with the opposite sex. It's in your family. That is where you learn how to treat people. So if you ignore family when you want to get married, my dear, you will have yourself to blame. You want to marry somebody, you now ignore the fact, you now ignore that this person came from a family. You don't go back to their home to go and see the way they interact. How do the siblings react to themselves? How do the mother treat their father? How do they, even the stories that this person tell you about their siblings, how does this sound? See, people will be telling you stories about their life, about their experiences. You will just be seeing it and just be passing. No, that's not how to do stuff. You listen, you understand, you try to break it down to understand where that person is coming from. Because if you miss those points, you will only have yourself to blame. Another thing that people do is, apart from the marrying the church girl, is that they do not go back to check the divorce record. Now, I mentioned this thing earlier in my video, and I'm going to explain what I mean. Some people, when you go to their house, it might not be just their immediate family. Some people are from a broken home. Some people are not even from a broken home yet. But you could see that all around them, there are multiple divorce cases in their whole of their generation. This person is not living with this person is not, and these people are not even people that have traveled to anywhere. They are living right here in your home country in Nigeria or wherever you are watching me from. They are living there, and you can see that their track record is all about divorce cases. It's all about separation. When you ask them, sometimes they have good excuse, sometimes they don't have good excuse. So in your mind, as a man that said, oh, I come back this Christmas, come marry, and you find yourself in that situation or in that kind of family, what makes you think that your story will be different? Why do you think that as you enter this family now, they will treat you better? Because you are here now, your own go work. Some people, it's just in their gene. Is that just who they are? So in that kind of situation, you should know that when that person leave you, they will have no remorse. It's just like when people don't have relationship with their siblings. It's the same thing. The person can also keep malice with you easily because that is who they are in their house. In their house, this person can stay 3 years without talking to the next person. And they are all siblings. And you're not thinking that, oh, when I come into these people's house, it will be different. They are going to welcome me. I'm going to be the one to unite the whole family. Really? Anyway, that's up to you. In this same divorce case that I'm talking about, one of my friends one of the people that I spoke with concerning marriage and, wanted advice and whatnot. Of course, these people give me permission to talk about them. So this guy was telling me about his marriage. He was talking about when he wanted to get married to this babe. The eve to their traditional wedding, that's a day before their traditional wedding, the wife wey you wan marry don already beat people, comot person teeth that night, fight. The next day, that was the traditional wedding. When he came, I don't know what happened. He said the girl too slapped him. I was not asking him, and you went ahead with this kind of marriage? He said yes. So I was not like, why? He said, they have already bought things, they have already prepared everything down. So what is he going to do now? I said, you walk away. You walk away. Because this same marriage we are talking about is still ended up in divorce. The girl still left him, right? The girl still left him. They did not achieve nothing. All through the course of their marriage was fight, 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 fight. So if you think that there is something that you could do in that kind of situation to change that person's character, no. And there's some things about some people that it will take divine grace and mercy for them to stop. Some people are naturally toxic, believe it or not. So yeah, some people are just they thrive in pain. They thrive when they are showing you pain. It makes them happy. A lot of people will not even be, thank you so much, Dave. A lot of people will not even tolerate the kind of things that they dish out to you. Do you get what I mean? Like, some people are so toxic, but that same toxicity that they show you, they will not tolerate it. So most of the time when you see in a situation of this marriage of 18, you see the person, any small thing that she has flared up, she's angry. Oga, run. If you have plans of coming back this Christmas to say you are marrying somebody, be careful, open your eyes. It's a crazy world out there right now, even before now. So then I was asking my friend, like, it's not even my friend, I was asking this person, like, how would you go ahead with the marriage knowing fully well that this lady showed you this kind of, slapped you on the traditional wedding day? He said he have bought things. The cost, what you will lose in the long run, right? I beg your pardon. What you will lose in the long run will shock you. You might have spent ₦1 million, ₦2 million, ₦3 million, ₦10 million on the traditional wedding, but you might end up losing your life. Because if somebody can slap you in the presence of Iwe Madu in traditional wedding day, what would that person not do after? So it's better for you to walk away. It might bring shame, quote unquote, to you and to the people you brought, but it will save your life, right? But according to him, he went ahead and married the girl. If I tell you most of the things that he even shared with me that happened in that marriage, you even shed tears for him. Lady threatening to throw him away from the balcony. Him, like, it's crazy, threatening to throw their kids away. Like, it's not worth it at the end of the day, if you ask me. So this type of situation where, in the case of, like, when you see people that have that kind of character and for some reason in your mind you feel like, oh, I can sort this thing out. No, you can't sort it out. And again is that I feel like people should, men in diaspora especially, which are the people I'm talking about today, you have to be sensitive when you meet people, you know, the story they tell. That's why going to people's home to see how, like, you can visit more than once. Introduction day should not be the only day. That's the point of courtship, no? That day of introduction should not be the only day you should visit somebody's house. You should try to know them. You see, there are some people that are raised in a family where their mother does not care how many abortions they have done in their life. Their mother does not care how many children they have had in their life. Like, they don't care about their lineage. They don't just care. They don't care what is happening. You would also sit with parents that do not care about where their children are getting money from. You know, if you are dating a girl and she's telling you, my mother said you should buy her, that is a silly, in fact, I don't even want to say what is in my mind. That's a very silly thing. Especially when you don't even have you don't even know who this mother is. And she's giving you lists. What is that? That means you are dealing with a family that do not care where they bring things from. Anywhere where they begin, like, men bring anything. When you entered into that kind of marriage, you will be shocked what the end result will become. You will be disappointed at the end of the day, because you'll be like, in that course of that marriage, a lot of things will play out to you that you'll be like, I saw these things. Because in a family where they do not care where children are coming from, when you leave that woman, nobody cares. They don't care. They already have multiple kids from wherever, from different fathers, different mothers, everywhere. They don't care. If you are married to that person and she's bringing things into your house, she expects you not to ask questions. In fact, she expects you to also rejoice with her, because that is who they are in their family. Do you get what I mean? So there are some characters that you will see people play out, whether they are discussing it with you, whether you are seeing it play out by yourself. Even the kind of gist person they gist, you have to be careful. Some people don't have morals, and for most people in diaspora, they always end up in situations like that, where they marry these kind of people, and at the end of the day, the marriage crash. I'm going to also talk about a story that not even a story, something that happened to one of my friends that I don't know. He was dating this girl. Of course, he was not in the country. Over the phone, they were just talking. He came into the country and he married this girl. Like, through phone conversations, I know for a fact that they didn't date. He married the girl. After about 6 months into that marriage, I kid you not, the marriage has crashed. For whatever reason, he came back, and the girl came to the airport to pick him, drove him to the house where they got for themselves, returned the key to him, and the car that she came to the airport with, he bought it. So he gave him back the key of the apartment and the key to the cars, and left. That was how the marriage ended. That was it. That's just it. Nothing else. So like, I remember asking this same man, like, what was the reason why you married this girl? That she's fine, no, it's her spec. Like, I can't even listen to anything tangible that could make you to go to that extent of marrying somebody that you are not really sure of their background, right? So now the family of the girl is like, oh, you disappointed our daughter, you do this one, and then they have done traditional wedding. No, I'm not joking. He had to go and return the what do they call it, the bride price at the local government, because he couldn't even go to the girl's father's house. What am I trying to say in essence is that I've heard this story of men in diaspora making the same mistake over and over again, and this is another festive season where a lot of them is going to come back, and it will be great if people are more careful and not repeat this same mistake. Get to know the person. Just make sure you are honest with yourself. Get to know the person, go and come back. You don't need to rush anything. You don't need to be like, oh, this girl I meet for night with you for Zion, there's no way this girl is not for me. It's not possible. Because you met her in Ebuko Bis Zion does not mean she's a good girl. Zion is a rehabilitation center, right? What do they call the other ones again? 7 a.m. fire prayer. People are there to receive healing. Because somebody is an NSPPD, which I am, does not make that person a good person. You have to be cautious, be careful with the people you meet. And remember that because you meet some people in a good profession, in a good career, in the church, in the mosque, does not make them good people. And that's just the basis. That's the basis of this conversation. Don't rush into anything. I've seen that play out over and over again with men. Another thing that I think that should be the last thing. Another, it's not even the last. I think this is the second to the last. Marrying people that do not have somebody they fear and respect. I also talked about this in my video, and I'm going to buttress the point. See, you could marry somebody that doesn't respect anybody. I'm going to give myself as an example. There are 2 people that I fear the most in my family that I wouldn't do anything to try to hurt them or bring shame to. In fact, I couldn't even dare to bring shame to my family, but it gets to the point that I can't even think of these 2 people hearing anything or doing any, like, with everything I do, I have them in mind. I'm like, I don't want to do anything to hurt these 2 people. The other one, I don't care about hurting him, but I know that he's going to show me shege if I try anything stupid. Then the other one is like love, respect, everything, okay? But if you're in a situation where you are with someone that does not have anybody in their family that they fear and respect, it could be their father, their mother, their brother, their uncle, whoever it is to them, you'll be surprised that you marry this person, and when you have problem, the person is like, you're telling the person, I'm going to report to your father. The person is like, who cares? Who cares? What the heck? I can tell you for free that these two people I'm talking about, thank you so much for the likes. These two people I'm talking about, no matter where I am in this world, you tell me, say, hey, I'm going to call so and so, my heart go cut. I'll be like, oh my goodness, what? I'm dead. I know for sure that. And you should be able to be with people that, thank you so much for the likes, being with people that have somebody they fear and respect, put them in caution. Because one thing about marriage is that challenges will come, yes? Those challenges, who is going to help you to sort them out? Who is going to, if that person is doing something that is painful, heartbreaking, who will you talk to? Thank you so much for the likes, I appreciate. Who are you going to talk to? Who are you going to talk to? Who is that one person wey fit treat their fuck up in their house? Who is the person? As I am, like the way I am, I have lots of siblings, not lots of them, but I have brothers. I can tell you for free that I can assure you, like, if I do fuck up, my brothers will come anywhere I am and fuck me up first. So it's crazy. So I will not even think it in my head, like, yeah, but I will do so and so things. A lot, like, they are ready, they have the energy to find me anywhere I am. So you cannot even try some things as a person. Because you have people you love. Thank you so much. I appreciate the likes. Because you have people that you love and respect, and people that can talk to you and you will listen, you cannot do some certain things, no matter where you are in this world. Some people do not have that. They are from a lenient home where anything goes. Just do whatever. Yes, it's okay. It's not a problem. You need people that is a problem in their household. You need people that have people that can caution them. So if you're in those kind of things that, even as you are, see, the fact that you come to somebody's house, and they are not asking you deep question is a problem. Let me tell you. First is that you just was in, hey, they just carry their daughter, give you like that. Wrong. Where do you don't feel like? In fact, if they're not asking you deep questions, you should know that you are in the wrong place, first of all. They should be concerned about who you are. The kind of question they will ask you should make you to understand that you don't enter. The kind of person when they go ask you for some, even you go be like, no. It be like say they train this person well, right? I'm just saying. So you have to be careful in situations where you are with somebody and that person do not have anybody who they respect, And then the biggest one is like this situation of what do they call this now? Someone that is in love with another person. A lot of Nigerian people, a lot of women are in love with another person. That doesn't mean you should not marry the person, but that means you should be sure of where you stand, of who you represent in their life. What are you there doing? A lot of people do not marry you, especially these men in diaspora. I'm sorry, they do not marry you for love. I'm sorry to be the one to break it. They do not marry you for love. A lot of people do not, I'm not going to say all, most women do not marry you for love. They marry you to alleviate poverty. They marry you to get out from the situation where they find themselves. They marry you for the trips and the thrills that come from Japa. They marry you to give their own family a better life. And that's why they can easily leave you once they have a good job, because they can send money home without your permission. They marry you to also give their boyfriend in Nigeria a better life. So the situation whereby you meet somebody and because you feel like, especially my Igbo brothers that feel no good, Through the ego jiolu, you be like overtaking is allowed, this is that. All those things are um exactly, like it's all about Mr. Monks, not true. It's all about financial security. Most of these people, they do not love you. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you the good news. They do not actually love you. They just want to get out from whatever situation they find themselves. Will they grow to start liking and loving you? Maybe. But when the ships are down, when the push comes to shove, they will remember that your money can cover a lot of things about you. But when they start living with you, the ships in their eyes will fall off, right? When you were in diaspora, maybe you are tripping the girl with $1,000. When they are living with you in their abroad, that $1,000 is not the same thing, right? So it begins to clear in their eyes that you might be who you are, but in their mind now they think you are not who you are. They begin to see that, oh, I can actually make this money. And because the love was not there in the first place, they could easily leave you. And I see this over and over and over again. It plays out time and time again. So yeah, I just decided to come on live here again to talk to men in diaspora that this period, when they come back, when they careful. It's not a good time to rush into things. It's not a good time to promise anybody anything. Don't promise and fail. It's better you don't even promise at all. Don't talk to anybody. Very deep and inspiring. Thank you so much, Dave. Just don't promise people anything. The situation is becoming annoying and alarming because everybody cannot have the same story. And it seems as if everybody is beginning to have the same story of marrying somebody and they leave them. See, these points that I raise is the reason why it's happening. Is the reason. Igbo people will tell you that easier for Kego, right? It's better you marry somebody that have a good name, that come from a good home, that wants a good name for themselves, than for you to be like, oh, let me marry this person for what they can give me now, or for the solution they are going to give me when I get to take the person to wherever. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. The problem is that many men have convinced themselves that they can use money to make a woman love them. My dear, that's what I'm saying though. You cannot use money to make a woman. You can use money to convince a woman to marry you. Walai. But once you are married to that person don't see you finish. Marriage is the center of see finish. A lot of things about you will be exposed. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That person will see everything about you. And if they do not love you, your money is rubbish. They will take that your money and go and take care of another person. How do the people say it? You will be giving to this person. Right? Like if you are doing something good for this person, the person is busy taking care of another person. Typical. You can only use money to marry somebody. But once that person is inside your house, if you like, be buying that person, changing car for that person every what, that's when you will turn to 2 minutes man, 30 seconds man. You know they see you. The person is not even noticing that you are there. Are they enjoying the money? Yes. They do not want to lose you, but they do not love you enough to want to be with you forever. Let me rephrase that. They do not want to lose your money, but they do not love you enough to want to be with you forever. Yeah, I think that's a better way to say that. They love the money you are giving to them, but they do not love you enough to want to spend forever with you. So if you are somebody that is in diaspora, if you are in Nigeria, be careful. When you go to people's home, look out for their character. Look out for what makes them who they are. That your wife no learn to be a wife anywhere apart from in her papa house. The Bible says train a child in the way that they would go, so that when they grow they will not depart from it. It does not mean that you will not go astray, but you cannot depart from the upbringing because it has been built in you, right? As a teenager, you might try nonsense, you might smoke shisha, you might do this one, but deep down your heart, that your upbringing, they there. Imagine if they don't have the upbringing, right? That's when the person goes astray. The Bible never told you that, oh, that the person will not be tempted, but you cannot depart from that upbringing because it's instilled in you. People that have good upbringing, even when they are doing bad, there is this part of you that reminds you, not be like this, they raise me. A deep part of you will be telling you, if my mama come here now, I don't die. If my papa, how will I feel if my dad should come across this thing? You see people that are like that, they try their best to hide their stupidity. People that come from a home where they do not care, now them they smoke cigar, go their papa house. Now them they carry anything wey dem dey do and rub it in their parents' face. That's why a child that can show immorality, a child that can show indiscipline, a child that can show their lack of manners in front of their parents is lost. That's why you should go home. If that person dey have the guts to show their parents that, oh, I don't dabaru, who are you to change that person? Tell me. If the person have the guts to go home and show the parents their bad character, be like, and their parents like, don't worry. There are some home you know fit try that kind of thing. No matter how you spoil reach outside, as you dey reach your papa gate, your brain go reset, spam. Those are the kind of people that are better to be with, because you know that they cannot dare to want to bring shame home. Some people don't care. Some people, they don't, even them and their parents together, they bring shame to themselves together. So yeah, that's the basis of the conversation today. Okay, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. My time is up. Okay, bye guys.